righty, we are back.
And we're going to come right in with...
Well, before we come in, we got something special from a sponsor.
Yes.
And so before we get going with this wonderful show, we're all excited, but I think I'm more excited about this new sponsor that is coming in. This is just, go ahead, tell them about it.
Yes. So we have a quick word from our sponsor, Arabella Counseling. As you guys know, like I said earlier, the Love and Victory Show, we are all about healing and growth. We talk a lot about relationships. And I know some people, might be struggling, maybe in their singleness, maybe in their marriage, maybe just as an individual, like if you have, trauma going on, depression, anxiety, self-esteem, self-awareness, Arabella Counseling is here to provide you guys with counseling, therapy services. And yeah, you can contact them at 832-770-6297. We also have a QR code for you guys you can book an appointment and check all of that out. But, they're here to help you with life's challenges. And therapy, I think, is kind of a taboo subject. A lot of people feel like, oh, maybe I don't need therapy or anything like that. But I really think that everyone can benefit from just having someone to talk to and being able to kind of work through life's ups and downs, because it's inevitable, right? Like you're going to go through stuff in your life and you want to be mentally prepared for that.
I think why I'm so excited to have them as a sponsor, the counselor, the person that we're marketing or that's on here sponsoring us today is one of our very own. She is on the show every third Saturday of the month. Stephanie. She is amazing. She is someone you guys, she's been pouring into you guys for almost over a year now, probably a year and a half, 2 years. She's been pouring in as long as the Love and Victory Show is here. And she has stepped out on faith. And she started her own practice. Wow. She's someone that I would trust encouraging a loved one to go to. She's a person of good character. Her heart is truly pure. And I think she's someone that's a good listener that can give you some good advice. Yeah. So check it out.
Honest. And she's very good. Easy to talk to.
Yes. So go ahead. We're going to put this back up real quick. The QR code. We're going to make it real simple. Put it up real quick. If you guys can go over to your TV, wherever you're at, looking at this here, and check her out.
That's right.
All righty then.
All right. We're going to go right in with our acronym of the day.
Yes.
Let's just title of the show first.
The title of the show is Single Life. Expect the Unexpected.
And so your acronym to that is?
The acronym is here to kind of set the tone, set the vibe for the show, get us all on the same page. So the acronym of the day is myself.
All right.
M is malleable. I think I'm saying that right. Malleable. Thank you.
See how we have each other's back.
Capable of being changed or molded. Adaptable.
Oh, let's say that word one more time.
Say it, Aaron.
Malleable.
All right.
Y is youthful, fresh, vigorous, and active. S, I do know how to say this one. Serendipitous. Means having good fortune. E is esoteric, known only by some. L is lenient, someone or something that is not harsh or strict. F is flirtatious, romantically teasing and suggestive. And I felt like this really set the tone for, being in, an era of like singleness. It's all about taking care of yourself and putting yourself first when maybe you haven't before. And not a lot of people are okay in their singleness too. So that's kind of where esoteric comes in, because I think not a lot of people are comfortable in being single.
Well, I'm excited about this conversation.
It's so good to have good white folk on your team.
Y'all know this brother here.
He didn't tell one line.
You got
because some other races would never think of those words. And so,
I didn't necessarily think of them. Google did, but
You know what? Y'all know Brother Carter over here. Ain't no telling what don't come out of his mouth. Y'all know we love some Brother Carter, but more importantly, we love our team. when I think of, I'm trying to get my thought across because I was definitely not expecting that. But I
If
spoke
you,
it, but the
Yourself. Think
but-
of yourself.
but-
Myself is the
but-
acronym.
Okay, hold on, y'all. Hold on,
Hey,
y'all.
Miss Carter, if you need a second to collect your thoughts, why don't you reintroduce everyone?
Okay, but we gotta have each other's back. And I should have expected the unexpected.
That's
right.
There you go. That
Right
goes
on
with
the
the
show.
title.
Yeah.
Before we get going, we're going to ask that our guests go ahead and look into the camera and introduce themselves. I'm going to start with the lady first.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't hear.
Hi, my name
Christina?
is Christina Price.
Mm-hmm.
I am a single.
Mhm.
I'm a makeup artist.
Not just any makeup artist. Come on now. Come on. She gets
You
the
don't
stars
want to
together.
pat her on
Oh,
back.
well, I'll pat it. Go ahead. Yes, you can. She's excellent.
Shine.
Shine. You know, one of the things
Come
that
on,
we do.
Kiki.
Here's the thing that let me go ahead and say this here, and I struggled with this a long time.
Mhm.
I had a hard time speaking up
Mhm.
and just really being proud of where God has taken me.
Mhm.
Mm.
I felt like I was boasting, so I wouldn't even talk about for years. People didn't even know what I did when I left corporate America because I felt like to say what I did, it was going to make me look like I thought I was better. No, God blessed me.
Mhm.
So I talk. So
Yeah.
tell your story. You're not just you ain't someone practicing in the room. Come on, professional.
No.
How long
I'm
you
not.
been in the game?
I've been in the industry probably like 16 years
Yeah,
now.
okay
See
then.
there?
You
She
see how
said I've been in
flawless
the
she is?
industry. She didn't say in the game.
There you go.
Yes. So I've
Continue.
done a lot of work
Mhm.
professionally as a
Mhm.
makeup artist.
Yeah.
Mhm.
In the entertainment industry, just all over, just doing every aspect of makeup you could think of.
Mhm.
And she's
Yes.
an amazing mother.
Mhm.
She has an amazing son that just graduated. She is so much more than just
Yes,
what she
Yeah.
do.
makeup
Well, she
artist,
she don't want to name drop, so she just
Yeah, she
keep it.
she just keep it like that, and I appreciate that. But I just wanted to make sure that there are so many more accolades that go with this young lady, and her humbleness is what I love so much about her.
Yeah.
Now,
Well, she done the makeup of some of your major stars out there, so I'm just gonna say it like that.
we gonna win.
Mic drop.
She's sitting in the room. Okay, she ain't outside. Wish she shoulda, coulda. All right, then I'm gonna turn this mic on over to none other than my cousin,
Brother, cousin, friend.
Rickey. Go ahead, Rickey. Tell him who you are.
You so humble.
Mhm.
She is.
She is.
She is. I love that about
Yeah.
her.
And she just sits back and is like, no. I'm like, you actually done a lot of stuff.
Yeah, a whole lot.
A whole lot.
A whole lot that we ain't even talking about, but we gonna go there and leave that alone.
Leave that
Okay.
alone. And I'm glad you said that because that's something I struggled with for a long time, like to just be open about who you are, what you're doing, the things you've done. I mean, if you've done a lot of things and you overcome some hurdles, just
Because it
talk
wasn't
about it.
easy.
You know, it wasn't easy.
Yeah,
you know
it
what I
was a
mean?
struggle. Yeah.
Yeah, so now I consider myself to be one of the best life coaches in the world.
Okay,
Mhm.
speak
And
that
I
thing.
literally am because I
Mhm.
coach, CEOs, CFOs, lawyers, doctors,
Mhm.
you name it. I've literally coached and trained multiple people in the world. So I literally am one of the best in the entire world. So
Go on now, Rick.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
There you
When it
go.
comes down to mindset, when it comes down to training, when it comes down to fixing your mind and body, I'm your guy.
All right,
Mhm.
then. Did y'all hear that?
Uh-huh.
I told y'all.
Uh-huh.
I told y'all. We got some
Some
folks.
heavy hitters on the show.
Oh yes.
And
Yeah.
before we get started with the conversation, y'all, if you're tuning into the show, please feel free to leave some comments down in the comment section. We are going to save it for a Q&A section there at the end. So if you have any questions throughout the show, go ahead and leave them down, and we will address it.
and if
Stay
it's
tuned.
hot enough, I might go and address it while we're talking about it.
Yeah.
So go ahead and make sure that you guys leave your comments in. All righty, with nothing else that other than to get this conversation going?
First before we get started,
Okay,
let's do a little
What?
welcome back to all our Facebook
Oh, yeah,
family and
we've been
friends. You know, we've been
gone.
gone for a minute.
Just
and-
one week.
It seemed like a long time.
Because we love what we do,
Yeah.
don't we? We missed out a week for the 4th
Yeah.
of July, so
Yeah,
we are happy to be
Just
back.
thankful that you guys came after we missed last week, and you're back here again this week. So we just want to extend our gratitude for you guys showing up every Saturday morning with us.
Also, I want to apologize because I did get a few calls and messages in regards to the replay that played. It was apologize for the technical stuff that was going through. I think it was the
Mhm.
older we played the wrong video, but again, we apologize for that, and we got y'all together next time. So, but again, thank you. You love us so much. It didn't stop y'all from tuning in today. So, thank you.
All right.
All righty, let's go on ahead and jump into this single life.
Dun, 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 dun.
Expect the unexpected.
Single.
Okay.
Did you?
Okay.
Sorry. Did
Like-
you want me to ask my questions again?
Oh yeah, but can I? You see, y'all. Everybody wants to be the host of the show because everybody
hostess.
Well, you
enjoyed
said
it.
not to forget.
Okay, I got you. I promise you, I'm coming back with because that was a good one to
Cast off
start
the
it off.
chain around here.
That's why I love everybody. You know, Brother Carter, you and I are gonna have to because we ain't been single in Lord, some years.
How long y'all been
Mhm.
there?
Oh, we've been together 45 years.
Wow.
So we're gonna have to dig.
How long we been married?
Baby, that's too high to
Okay.
you know, after you get he always asks me these high numbers, but because he kept repeating
You remember the
45.
45?
Yeah,
though?
because you just told me that the other
Okay.
day.
All right.
Okay, so
Stick with 45.
it's some years. So I think that we're
we
gonna
can't be married more than 45. That's for sure.
that's for
If we've
sure.
Been together 45.
Yeah, but what I'm saying here, we're gonna have to dig back
Mm-hmm.
into our single life, our
Mhm.
dating life, what that
we
felt.
was 12. I don't reckon we really
Again,
had
we're gonna keep it 100 the way we do on the Love and Victory show. I'm gonna keep it 100, but we're gonna have to go back. So even though we've been together forever, we're gonna dig back. We're gonna dig back. We're gonna keep it real for everybody.
All right. All right.
All righty. With that being said, Aaron, go ahead on. She been ready to get that good question.
Sorry, I'm just excited for y'all's
Oh.
y'all's input.
Okay.
And everyone else in the comments too. So it was a 2-tagger. The first one is, at what point when you're dating someone do you have some kind of say over like, hey, maybe you shouldn't wear that, or like that's a little too flattering even for me, but I love it, but like maybe not the public because I love it so much. And then,
Okay.
and then there's the second question of like, be like, you know, say like you have a family but you're not necessarily married, but you're making these comments and these ideas like, I have a moral, these are what I want to raise my family. Like, I guess at what point, like, can you say those things if you're yourself are not making the commitment to like put the ring on it to fully say that? Because yes, there's a responsibility, but on the other hand, to the level of like when you're actually saying like morals, this is how I'm raising my family.
What are you doing?
Do you
to
need
really
a ring
want
to say
family?
a family?
Okay,
Right.
oh, that's a good one there.
Let me jump in.
All right, take it. Let's go.
Let's get this party going.
Mhm.
So my immediate thought, and based on my experience and everything I've been through and understanding psychology and people, when you're dating, you don't get a say so at all. Like your whole point is to learn yourself in order to learn that person. You know what I'm saying? So you just trying to sit back and see how they are on a daily basis, things they do, things they don't do, see if you like the things that they're doing or not. You can't really make a decision on anything that they're doing right now because you're trying to figure them out, right? So you get to a certain point in your relationship after you're dating for long enough, you're like, okay, we've been dating for about 6 or 7 months now, and the things that you do or that I like, deal with it, and the things that you don't do, I can't deal. I mean, I don't like. I can't deal with it. Right now, after these few months, can we move past and work on the things that I don't like? And if we can't, then let's just stop. You know what I mean? But most times, people are like, I'm trying to figure you out. Let me just get in here and see how you are before I start making decisions and making my opinions and all.
I like where you're going with that
Yeah.
because I think where mistakes are made at, we go because it's about your boundaries.
Right.
You know, I'm setting my boundaries. I can't go in. I just kind of want to get to know you.
That's it.
And so in knowing you and figuring out who you are, it's going to determine how I'm going to move with you.
Absolutely.
You understand? So I think a lot of times what people do, they go into a relationship with the expectation that you're going to do this because this is what I want.
Right. And
No.
that's selfish. It's
Yeah.
extremely selfish.
Yeah.
And if
You
you
know.
don't do this,
Then it's
you're
some-
not the one for me. I
Yeah.
don't want to do this.
Yeah. So
But I
go
believe
ahead.
dating is like the observation stage of a relationship
Mhm.
where you kind of like observe the person. You observe, you know, how
Yes.
they interact with you, with other people, family members or whatever, people in public. Then you see if you can, you
If that
know,
mesh with you.
if it meshes with you, like if you
Mhm.
can see yourself entwined with this person,
Mhm.
you know. So I think that's what dating is about.
Oh.
That
Mhm.
beginning stages.
That beginning stage. I
Mhm.
like that.
Yeah.
Brother Carter, you have anything on that?
At what point do you get past the physical attraction and start meditating more on what your true desires are for
From-
yourself and what you expect from the relationship.
I think that should be your position from the beginning.
before you even
Before
get in the
you even get
relationship.
into, I think you should go into a relationship with an understanding of what you want.
Right.
Because in order for you to be this relationship to work,
Mhm.
you got to be okay with you. And it's
Mhm.
okay with you setting boundaries for you.
Mhm.
And it's okay with you saying, you know what? I really don't like how you moving. So it has nothing to do with me not liking you, but it's just not mission with me.
Mhm.
So I
Mhm.
think that's something
So
that
it starts with oneself.
it starts
Absolutely.
with one.
Mhm.
It starts with one.
Mhm.
Okay, get you a little bit, Abigail.
I have a question for you guys,
Mhm.
actually. So, at what point, there's a big thing, I think, especially with like the younger generation about titles
Mhm.
and like, what are the expectations when you get a title, like
Mm.
in that relationship? Or like, does it have to be like a conversation, or is it kind of like, well, we acting like we're dating, like we're acting like we're boyfriend, girlfriend? You know what I'm saying? So,
Mhm.
what is your opinion on titles and
My thing is,
the boundaries with that?
yeah, and you said something that was key is acting.
Mhm.
If you're acting like something without gaining the clarity of doing the thing, then you're lying to yourself. You're lying to the person as well
Mhm.
too. So you don't have you have an imaginary title because we're acting like we're doing something. Like anybody could act like we're doing something, but if you don't have clarity on that particular thing, then both of y'all are lying to each other. So what we need to do is actually gain some clarity on what we're actually doing, where we're actually going, why are we acting like we're in a relationship if we're really not in a relationship. And the problem is that people have these expectations again. You know, it's like, oh, we're doing this thing, right? No, we're not doing. We're not doing this thing. You know what I mean? So my thing is this. That's why I said, being clear on what you want in a relationship is saying, I'm sorry, I don't know how.
Just say it. Go with it. Open mic.
You got to be clear and say, I just want to have sex.
Mhm.
Or, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or I actually want to date you and eventually marry you.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and I think that's the thing. And you struggle with that because only because of the mic, right?
Yeah.
Okay, but I think people need to be clear of what
Yeah.
their expectation. That's why I said you go into the relationship with what you're looking for
Mhm.
from
Right.
the beginning.
Exactly.
Because if you go into a relationship, and I wish I'd have known this my younger years,
Mhm.
you go into the relationship not trying to be something for someone else,
Mhm.
but really knowing what you're looking for in a
Mhm.
relationship. I think that thank God things worked out for us, but I think that'll make you a much happier
And one thing, like, it's okay to state that in the beginning of the meeting,
up front.
Mhm.
up front. I'm looking for sex. I'm looking for marriage.
And
It's okay.
I think it come across a little easier today than it did back in the
Yeah.
70s, you know, because everybody was just trying to.
No,
I don't think
brother.
people wasn't as honest back then about being in a relationship.
But y'all actions were. That's not true. See, we as women knew. I knew exactly who I had
Well,
when I
yeah,
got with
I
you.
think women get more emotionally attached a lot quicker than men do, and so
Yes.
that situation come up. But and a lot of guys are not going to be honest enough to just say, "I just want to have sex with you, and I'm not going.
Yeah.
I don't want to see you after that."
Right.
That's
you know,
true.
but-
Yeah, but
That's
most
true.
guys
That's
aren't.
true.
Most
Yeah.
guys aren't emotionally equipped enough
Right.
to
Mhm.
tell the truth.
Right.
You know what I mean? So even we know this. You know,
Yeah.
we know that women get emotionally attached
Yes.
because we have this
Mhm.
selfish desire to get what we want.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Kind of play on that.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Instead of
Mhm.
being a man or being honest and be like,
Mhm.
you know what, I'm not going to mess with your emotions right now because I
Mhm.
know I just want to have sex.
Right.
You
Right.
know what I mean?
Right.
But
And that's where I wish we can go to in this topic today.
Yeah.
Getting men to be man enough to just say, you know, I don't want to get emotionally attached to
Mhm.
you. I like to share time with you.
Mhm.
okay,
That's it.
that's so nice the way you put that.
Yeah.
I really do. I appreciate that. But I do think that the women today
Hmm.
are also just as some of them
Primitive as men today.
Well,
Yes.
I think there are some women that they have no intentions
Right.
on really trying to be wifed up.
Mhm.
What they want is they want what you bring into the table, even if they don't have nothing going on,
Mhm.
or they're looking at it from this standpoint of I don't know if I want to be in a committed relationship right now. I just want to do this thing
Mhm.
with you.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, I think most people. We can categorize it as men and women if we want to.
Yes.
But essentially, people are, especially older people. The older we get, the more things we experience, the more hurt we have and hold on to.
Yes.
And then you have this
bringing that mess into your new relationship.
Yeah. Or you have this reservation for the new thing. So now you say things like, I don't want to commit a relationship.
Yeah.
I just want to hang out and do our thing, right? But my thing is, like, if you haven't gone through the actual healing process to understand why you're hurt, you can't move forward into any relationship.
You deep into the show right now.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay, so I love what you just said. So let's talk about that from when you're approaching men or women, and that's the state of mind that you're in. Are we being transparent with that other person, or are we just kind of doing it because we are physically attracted to someone versus really being emotionally attracted? Who want to take that?
I can go all day, but I don't know.
You can go ahead and take that one.
You sure?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I just think I personally believe this, and I use myself as an example. Like, when you understand your value, you don't have time for the bullshit. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I know myself enough to know that I don't have time to waste. I'm going to point to. I don't have time for waste.
You about to point at Kiki over there, aka Christina.
Okay, right. Let's call her Christina. Okay, not Kiki. Okay, she got a name. Let Kiki.
I mean, aka Kiki.
Yeah.
That's Christina right there.
No. She is.
I'm just talking about the black outfit.
Okay,
she keeps
somebody. I know, but for somebody that's just coming in that may not know, I don't put no tag on her as being Kiki. All right.
No, we're not doing
All
that.
right.
It's actually a compliment that you know what I'm saying.
Yeah,
she knows.
All right.
So what I was saying is that when you value yourself enough, you don't waste time with anybody. You know what I mean? It's like, I got too much going on. I got a business to run. I got money to make. I got kids, so on and so forth. So I'm not going to sit back and kind of guess what you got going on. It's like, hey, look, have you done the therapy? Have you done the healing? You know what I'm saying? You go right into the conversation with that. See, but people who ain't got nothing going on, they want to beat around the bush and play the games because they ain't got nothing else to do. You know what I mean?
Let's just be frank here. Let's be frank on this show. When you first meet someone, you have no idea the emotional stature of that person. All you see is what you see physically.
Right.
Okay, and that's what you're drawn to. This thing of getting emotionally attached has I think you have to be more, see this person more and more, get to know them. I guess what am I trying to say here? You asked the question about shit. I forgot what I was talking about.
Yeah, don't talk about my man. He got this. I got to watch. I got your back.
I know what you're saying.
He got this here.
Basically, what you're saying is, like, most people, we go into the physical automatically. Like, anybody would see her, they'd be like, "Yo, she's dope. She's bad. I want her. I want to be with her." But for most people, they can't go beyond that. They want to, like. She would be a trophy wife for some people, right? So I want to hold on to that trophy, because you make me look good, right? You know what I'm saying? They don't care about her emotional status, they don't care about stuff she's been through, you know what I'm saying? So, but the person who actually has value for themselves would go beyond.
There you go.
Yeah.
Now, there, go ahead. I know you wanted to take that because I'm jumping on that right there. Go ahead.
Yeah, because that's definitely a thing. For those who may find me attractive or desire me because they like my physical, they would stop at that. They stop at that. They don't even get to see the inside of me and know that I'm really nothing like what you think I'm like, just like that trophy just to be on your side, but they don't even have the capacity to dig deeper. But that shows me where they are.
You really want to dig deeper.
Absolutely not.
That's the thing that most men, I'm of this man's perspective. Do I really want to dig deeper into who you are as an individual? I don't want to see that craziness that pop up, that out of nowhere from what Junebug did to you 15 years ago,
But not necessary. But that's the thing, though. You don't even get that craziness from me because you don't understand that, or you can't even see, oh, she's healed, or she did the work, or, she's emotionally balanced, or the good attributes that's even greater than my outside appearance.
Well, that goes back to what I said earlier. That individual, how they're presenting in the relationship, because it's really not about you at that point. It's that individual. So if that individual is coming in and not being even remotely interested in the inside of you, if you're taking care of yourself, you're gonna be able to pick that up right away and be like, you know what, red flag, let me pump my brakes, or you should figure it out.
Right.
Oh Lord, we got some questions and comments out there. Oh, this is how I'm seeing them.
Yes. So we have a comment from Lenita Bennett. She said, "You don't know because you don't ask the questions. Quit trying to go on these expensive dates to showcase on social media. Go to the coffee shop so you can truly hear who they are and look them in their eyes."
Yeah.
I love
true.
that.
Facts.
Yeah.
That is so true, because we're trying to impress.
When I was living in New York, this was like 2014. That was their thing. Like, I got on a dating site and they would, oh, let's meet at a coffee shop. Let's go meet at the park or something like that. And that was so unusual for me, because me being from New Orleans, they like, oh, let me take you to Rue Chris, let me take you there. Those type of men. We ain't got to talk. I'm just trying to show up and show out, and so that was a different, aspect of dating for me. So then I realized like how much more meaningful that was versus the extravagant dates and things like that. These people were really trying to intentionally try to get to know you. I was like, okay.
Well, that says a lot about that person.
Absolutely.
So let me ask you a question. Since that was different for you, how did that make you feel?
At first, I couldn't receive it because I was just as shallow myself.
Okay, call it out.
So I was just like, oh no, they being cheap. I don't do this. Just being immature.
Being immature.
Absolutely. But as I got older, then I was able to see the benefit and the value in that. And it's like, come on, let's go to the park.
Let's go to the park.
Let me see who you are.
I love that. I love that.
I think education has a lot to do with this, what you're talking about here.
What do you mean?
Down south, the guys really don't want to talk too much because they don't know a whole lot.
Well, I disagree.
Up north.
I disagree.
Up north.
Lawrence,
I'm gonna finish my statement.
Oh
up
my
north,
God, y'all.
education level is a little different.
I got y'all. I got our back.
And they don't mind sitting down talking to a female and getting to know the female and expressing themselves because they know how to have the dialogue, articulate. I mean, that's the struggle we have down here, the articulation.
It might be like that Southern hospitality kind of thing, right? I feel like a lot of Southern men are kind of there to wine and dine a woman and may not be as much about like how talkative. I get to know you.
Yeah.
It's just more like I want to treat you well.
Okay.
Because that's all they were taught though too. You get a woman, you provide for her, you take care of her. So maybe they're coming from that standpoint.
I'm going to say I disagree. I think that you find highly intelligent brothers, men, period, in the South as you do in the North or anywhere else. I think the issue is how a person shows up for a relationship, in a relationship, which goes back to the individual. Even if you're not able to articulate, but if you show up with confidence, if you show up and you're really interested in that person that you're sitting with, it'll flow. That's just my honest opinion.
And I'm going to add to that right quick. Yeah. One thing I've realized is that you literally are the company that you keep, right? And so if you... for some reason keep dating dummies.
Yeah, come on.
You keep going to dummy places.
Well, then you got to look in the mirror, huh?
Well, that's too.
You start in the mirror.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, to kind of add to your point, yes, you know what I mean? Yeah. Some guys, I'll say some guys in the South, because, if you hang around a bunch of cats who go to the local bars, they hang out in the Walmart parking lots, they ain't got much to talk about, right? But you go right around the corner, right downtown, they got some actually highly educated brothers who have conversations. But so if the woman keep going down to Walmart, hanging out in the parking lot, that's the kind of guy she's going to attract.
There you go.
So if you go uptown a little bit, you actually going to meet some.
And that's the thing. I think that when we sit up and we say, well, there's no good brothers out there, or there's no good sisters out there. Well, where you hanging out with? Where you looking at?
Right.
Because I'm sorry, if I look to my left over here, bam, he's a bad brother out here. You understand what I'm saying? Nobody's perfect, but he's a bad brother. So I really struggle when I hear. I think about my grandson. I think about my son. It's some great brothers out here. It's some good men out here. I have a lot of young men that are in my circle, in my path, that are doing it, that are respectful, that care. My cousin sitting across from me, he's a good dude. He don't do everything right because he's my cousin. Okay. We don't do everything right, but he's a good dude. And so I really, really, really struggle with when I hear women and men saying there are no good whatever
Mhm.
out
I
there.
know.
It's about you.
Yeah.
And when I say down south, I'm not saying all brothers.
Yeah.
Okay, let's
Yeah.
just make this
Yeah.
disclaimer here.
Mhm.
I'm not speaking of all brothers. I'm
You're
just
speaking
speaking
of a
of
culture.
right. Just it's most guys in the hood
Oh, there you go.
are hood.
Specific. Be
You
specific.
know.
Yeah.
And if you're dealing with hood
Mhm.
You get
brothers,
what you get.
you're gonna get hood
Right.
results.
There
Yeah.
you go.
And that's what I'm speaking of. I'm
Okay.
not speaking of just every man in Texas,
Yeah.
Louisiana.
I
or whatever.
appreciate you saying that, because I think one of the things that we do as women and as men, we just put something out there and we
Mhm.
leave it, but we got to put some context
Yeah.
behind
Yeah.
it, because when we do that, we're saying to the ones that are out there doing it,
Mhm.
we don't see you. I see you.
Mhm.
I see
Right.
you.
I also feel like, because I'm victim to liking the bad boy. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying?
And you pay for it.
And
Yeah.
you pay for it.
Mhm.
I would be attracted to this, like you said, kind of the hood. Like
Mhm.
maybe they don't like. I like the look and like the attitude, but then
Right.
I want them to then turn around and treat me.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
But you already done went over there and got that. You knew what you was getting for. You got going.
Right.
yeah, I
Yeah.
set myself up for failure.
Yeah.
So that's something I've had to learn over time, that
Mhm.
maybe the bad boy isn't for me.
Yeah. But it's really a self thing. Like, you really gravitate to what's in you. And I
Yes.
realized that in my last relationship. I wish I would have realized it early on in life.
Mhm.
Mhm.
But I was talking about him one day and I was like, oh, he's toxic, and oh, he's insecure, and he's this, and I could never be with a man like that. Until, God had to tell me, because that's what's in you.
Oh,
Mm.
That's why you
that's why
was
you're
with him.
attracted to that.
That's why you were comfortable with him. That's why you went so long with him, because
Mhm.
that's you.
Mm.
You just show it in a different way than
Wow.
he does.
Wow.
Yeah, it was
Ooh, I'm sorry, y'all.
gut-wrenching.
I got to take a quick break, and I want to
Mhm.
chew on that for 1 second. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hold your thought, Ricky.
You
You
already
ready to
know.
jump on this shit, brother?
Mhm.
Brother Carter, ready? And I know y'all out there in the comments. That was. Oh my God! And I really want y'all to give me some feedback on what she just said. Can you repeat that? That's who? What did God tell you?
That was me,
That
because
was-
I talked about him as far as like his qualities, and he
Mhm.
wasn't man enough, he wasn't secure
Mhm.
enough, he didn't know this, he was toxic, he was everything.
Hmm.
And God had to show me, because that's in you. So that's why you were attracted to him and felt comfortable with him from the beginning. You know how we meet these people and be like,
Yeah.
oh, we just vibe.
Yeah.
He's cool.
Right,
Oh,
right.
we get along real well.
Y'all see this?
we are alike.
Oh.
That's who you are.
Let me tell y'all, this is gonna get good. We're not gonna do a song. We're gonna do a quick ad, and we're gonna come right back. All righty then.
Mhm.
All righty, I told y'all we were coming right back at it. Whew,
Mm.
that comment was so hot that you get laugh up, Christina.
Mhm.
I want to dive into that right there. Looking at yourself. Sometimes it's really difficult to look at yourself. It's
Yeah.
easy to blame someone else, or it's easy to say, "Oh, it's you, and it's not me." When God told you that, and you had to look at yourself, how did it really make you feel in the moment?
I mean, in that moment, it really broke me. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
you can't move forward. You can't heal till what?
Okay, until you get that breaking. Like, it was that moment, and that was the beginning of my healing stage.
Mhm.
That was the beginning of my true awakening. That's what awakening is.
Come on now.
Awakening is when you awaken to self. It's not about all the outside stuff. Oh, I'm woke, I'm woke. But when you awaken to true self,
Mm.
like that's that
Wow.
moment of true awakening.
Mm,
And you have to do the work,
mm.
because it's work. After you get shown yourself like that, imagine
Mhm.
how you feel.
And-
Because you're thinking, because
Sound
everybody
like a
else
new birth or
says,
something. Coming
everybody
out
else
of the
said, oh,
egg.
you're good, you're a nice person, you're not. Yeah, I'm nice, I'm
Mhm.
always nice.
Mhm.
Mhm.
But you don't know the filthiness inside of me
Mhm.
sometimes.
'Cause
And sometimes we don't even know.
Well, I don't want to leave off of that,
Mhm.
because I had a break. I got broken too.
Mm-hmm.
And when that happens to you, you know what's going on, and you know the change and all of the stuff that God is pushing out of you.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes do you feel that sometimes other people still didn't know it, and they were more like, what's the word what am I looking for? It's more like they kind of just wanted you to stay in that place that you were, or even when you were dating this person and you were saying he still saw you as that person, but that person that you were changing.
Yeah, I was changing, and people don't really notice that side of you because people don't know your full thoughts. You know, they don't know, some things that may trigger you and why you're triggered. Like a lot of people don't know. They just see what's on the surface. But some people don't have the capability to see. And they'll always, tell you, oh, you're a good person. Oh, you're nice. No, you are good. He's wrong. He's wrong. But you need those. That's why you need to surround yourself with certain people that's going to be able to see you and check you in those moments. Like, friend, I don't think you should think that way. Friend, yes, he may be that way, but understand, the part you played, or understand what you could have done. Just somebody that'll hold you accountable.
That's honest, and it's going to hold you accountable.
When I met you, you was here. And I want to make sure that I like you right here.
Right there, yeah.
Because that's
right
about
here.
you being comfortable.
Right.
With you, yeah.
Right. And now you want to start evolving and becoming something more. And then now you making me shrink now. And so now I'm getting insecure in my feelings and all that stuff.
When we both was insecure,
yeah. You understand?
So now you're calling me higher. I'm gonna have to come higher to reach.
Now I gotta try to pull you back down to make myself feel better.
Exactly.
All right, we talking shit right now.
I'm gonna throw this over to the life coach over here. You came with something. What you got? Come on, get this in now.
I gotta tag her up on this one, man.
Get that.
She set that up.
All right.
Honestly, she said everything perfectly. And I commend you for that, because I most people don't do that. They're not honest enough with themselves. They aren't open. They don't say the thing that's uncomfortable. Because I always say, get comfortable being uncomfortable. And in order to get uncomfortable, you got to expose yourself. Okay.
Yeah.
And here's the biggest thing: if you're not comfortable with being exposed, you'll never grow.
Okay. Can you just right there? And if you're unwilling, to allow someone else to see you outside of this, then you're not growing. You're only talking and listening to yourself, you already have stunted your growth.
Let me give y'all a prime example of what takes place in life. You ever watch a movie and a sex scene take place? Most of the time you're going to see the woman revealed. Hardly ever you see the male revealed. Why is that?
I can tell you why.
Okay. Go on head on.
Yeah.
And that just to speak, just before you start, that goes to speak to the insecurity of the man not liking to see his woman evolve. Always trying to bring her back down to a certain level.
Okay, I don't know about that, but
I think it's because it's planned for the man not to be exposed.
I don't know.
And so there's a reason for that.
But I think that's an excuse.
I'm not making no excuse for nothing.
I didn't say you. I said I think that's an excuse so that a man doesn't have to see, again, any type of growth, whether you're a man or a female. You have to get outside yourself. First, you have to start looking at yourself. You know your shortcomings. You know what them quiet moments when you're by yourself and you're struggling and you're like, why me? Why I don't have it? You know you.
Yeah.
But then where the change is going to happen is when you truly surrender to allow someone to, first of all, you want to allow God in, and then you allow someone to really call you on your stuff and not take it as an attack.
Absolutely.
Because if you're only hearing yourself,
I hear what you're saying, but what I'm talking about is back to what Rickey was talking about. It's just getting naked with oneself, pretty much,
But how you gonna get naked with yourself?
I'm just saying, hear me out a little.
Okay, Brother Carter.
Okay,
all right.
It's okay for women to derobe themselves, and it's harder for males to do so. And you see this perpetrated all the time on movies, all the time. Why is that? Is the question.
Oh, that's your question.
Yeah.
Go
ahead, Rickey. I'm good.
Okay. Let me make 2 points. Put a pin on that right quick. I want to kind of go back to what she said. One thing that makes a really valid point. As soon as you are exposed to the knowledge of your insecurities, you're held more accountable, right? And most people don't like to be held accountable for their actions. So they don't want to know all of their flaws. So when you call out their flaws, they get mad because now it's like I got to hold you accountable for what you know.
Yeah.
If you don't know, it's one thing. If I tell you, hey, Chris, don't do this because that's my trigger.
Yes.
And you do
And you
that
keep
anyway.
doing it.
Yeah.
You ain't concerned
Now I gotta
about
check.
me.
You know what I'm
now
saying?
I gotta check.
Right.
You.
So
Yeah.
like, but if you don't know, then you can be oblivious, right? So people like to live in oblivion because they're like, oh, I don't know. But now again, if I tell you, hey, you got to fix this, otherwise it's not gonna work. They don't like that. That's one point with that. Point two with that, I think is we've been conditioned since biblical times. I have to go there for a second. Think about it. Just one quick story, the Adam and Eve story. Adam blamed Eve for everything. He asked God, why did you give me this woman that made me make all these decisions?
Because you don't want to be held accountable.
You don't want to be held accountable,
that's what
right?
it is.
So the woman has been deemed, you know, a problem since the beginning and has been exposed, you know what I'm saying? And then we looked at it like, oh, I had to expose you and all your BS because I had to belittle you and bring you down over and over and over so the man could be exalted, right?
Wow.
And now I have a whole new understanding.
I like what you're doing there.
Yeah, you know, and this is why I say this, and I have to get us to my sisters for a second. Women have no idea the power that y'all possess.
Oh, I do. I know.
You know, I know you know.
Okay.
I think the average woman don't understand the power they possess.
Yeah.
You know, and I think once you understand how to tap into that particular power, you can make and birth any and everything in every person, every situation, every man, right?
Yes.
So here's the thing. The world and the system doesn't want that power to be exalted. So they have to keep on diminishing and bringing down the woman over and over and over, right? Like, for example, okay, I like to use chess as an example. Like the man, the king, right, has one or two moves. Like you can only make a handful of moves. But the woman,
she can slide everything.
But the whole point of the chessboard is to capture the king, right? But if
he ain't got to do nothing.
He ain't got to do
He just got to sit there.
Yeah.
Which is ridiculous.
Right. It's
when
ridiculous.
in
But
fact.
let me say this right quick.
Okay, go ahead.
So I already know. I knew I was going to hit the nail on the head.
That's what you get on the Love and Victory show. We expose a whole lot of stuff out here.
So here, we got to go deep for this 5 seconds, right? If you're on the chessboard, you're playing the game.
Yeah.
And if you choose to get on that chessboard, that's your choice.
That's your choice.
So if the man, that's his game, that's his chessboard, and the woman jumps on it and she understands her responsibility, she understands her power, the man understands how to utilize the woman in order for them to both to be successful, right? So the woman has all the power, right? But the man's kind of sitting back and, hey, you do your thing. I'm going to hold it down while you do your thing. When you come back from your emotional rampage, I'm going to be right here. Chilling, you know.
That was so sexy,
Well,
but I'm no.
That gonna take a male that's pretty good in his own spirit, though.
Well, no. See, the man has to know his place, though. He has to know how to not misuse the woman, though.
Oh, the host is coming for that comment. First of all, when a woman, you made a comment, and I respectfully agreed to a point. When a woman is expressing how she feels about something, it is reciprocated back to her as being ranting or having an emotional breakdown. But if it gets to that point, it's because she's sick and tired of continuing to say the same thing over and over again. And that man act like he ain't heard it from the first time. So when she gets to that place that she's here and she's ranting, as you said, she's tired. Now, where your problem gonna come in is when she stopped talking. So you ought to be glad that she ranting. Because when she stopped talking,
that's a problem.
Oh, baby, it's a whole nother level.
It's a whole and see, I think it's the man
chessboard has changed.
So I think it's a man's responsibility, okay, to be stable and allow her to go out and vent and do her woman thing. I'm like, you know, I think it's a weak man again if she goes out and exposes herself to her thing to try to bring her down in a negative way. If you out there, you know, doing your thing, you vent. I'm like, you done?
Respectfully.
That's it.
And don't do it in a condescending way.
No, that's it.
You understand. I'm not really coming for you. I'm just, you know, because it's all in the way that it's delivered. We have to deliver something that is respectful on both sides.
Absolutely.
If that woman is here, she's here because she's tired.
Right.
You know, if she's here, I'm just bringing it to your attention.
Right.
So we're still in that stage where we can kind of fix it. But when she get here, ain't nobody hearing nothing but loud noise.
Right.
But again, when she stopped talking, there y'all go.
Right.
Okay, so we saying all of this to say what?
we saying all this to say that if you pick and choose a mate, understand how your role and how to facilitate their emotional needs.
Yeah,
that's it.
That simple.
That's really it. And the problem is people come these expectations, right? They have these crazy expectations, but I'm making things clear. It was like, look, I don't mind you venting and ranting and all that stuff. I'm not gonna make you feel bad about it. You know what I'm saying? The opposite side of that is what we're gonna do to fix it.
How we gonna fix it? Now we're gonna just keep ranting.
And see, and what I'm hearing, I have to keep going back to it.
Okay, keep on.
Is that men, and I gotta talk to the men because that's the source of the problem.
Okay.
In the relationships and in life, period. It's us. It's us. We the problem. Because we do not know how to get over our own insecuritiness until we were able to just get over that simple thing, which elevates everything about us, the ego of us.
Come on now.
You know, we can't begin. And I'm trying to look at the men right now. I'm not trying to look at you, Christine. I'm trying to look at until we come to this place where we can get over our own selves, it's going to be very difficult for us to maintain any types of relationships, whether that be with a woman, with a job, with your partners, or whatever it is that we're dealing with in life. We have to get over. That's what I keep going back to. That's what I keep hearing in the talks. We have to stop.
But do they have a safe space to do that? Do they have a safe space to do that?
Now that's a whole nother conversation.
You know, but where does it start?
What does a safe space look like?
First of all, like, you know, a lot of men, they gravitate to relationships a lot when they're in that place, when they're feeling vulnerable, or when they're feeling, you know, just not sufficient. So in that relationship with a woman, do she make him feel safe? Because I believe that's where healing can sometimes start. Does she make him feel safe? Because I just was having a conversation with somebody and they were giving statistics on, no, that was something you posted. And it was the statistics on how many women said that,
men can't cry.
Men can't cry, and he's a weak man, and this, that, and the third. So if you're hearing that as a man, what you're gonna do? You're gonna continue to, I'm gonna be a man, I'm gonna toughen up, and I'm gonna get it together.
Doing
you know,
what you think is a man versus being one.
Exactly, because nobody allows you to really be one. Where's that support system? Where's that nurturing? You know, that my mom should have gave me to get through this stuff, but I may not have her. So now I have my woman, who's a little bit of a representation of your mom. You know, let's be true.
Come on.
If we talking real relationships.
Wait.
Say it again.
That right there, y'all got. Come on, this girl, you can't prepare for this conversation. Wait, did y'all catch what she just said? That woman that you with is a representation. Of that mama.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, then that's all I'm saying.
But
whether you want to deal with it or not,
I'm gonna go there again.
Okay.
It is not.
She has something about that mama you like.
No, it's beautiful. I'm gonna say this: it's beautiful if you have a woman that can back you and encourage you and build you and lift
100.
you.
Yeah,
that's very. We need that. But it's not your responsibility as a woman to make a man out of your man.
Oh,
and so you know what I'm saying?
Come on, Brother Carter.
You know, we need it desperately, and we need a woman like that in our lives. But it's not really your responsibility.
Not to make him a man, but a woman is a nurturer. So if you're in a relationship with somebody and you're seeing and you care for this person and you're seeing that they having some issues, struggling someplace, or they need to release, it is my job to make him feel comfortable to do so. Now, can I raise you as a man? Absolutely not. But I can meet you where you are. Like I can, if I say that, I like this person, this is who I choose to be with. And I see he's having an issue because it may have just started. It may have been something that just was created, but I'm supposed to make a safe space for him.
I like that.
I'm supposed to create a safe space for him.
Right.
He's a man already. You know, I can't, he's grown everything,
right.
But he does have issues that he's carrying right now, which not necessarily make him less than a man.
Okay. So how long do you hold on to a brother that you're trying to give him a safe place to deal with his issues. Okay, I'm sorry.
I'm just hearing Big Mama talks to her right now. So you got to get that man what he needs, baby. That man
Not long, because I mean, first of all, you identify with these things from the very beginning.
Yeah.
On the first date. I remember in a relationship.
Okay, so you said on the first date that he came with these issues.
No.
So we're gonna give him. Oh, he didn't expose it on the first date.
You know, on the first date.
You know.
So you know if he had these issues, this is not my man.
Okay.
Oh, well. You should know, but because we're in a time where it's been,
he ain't my man, but girl, he's so fine.
Women out there and men are like, oh, men don't really have to put up a lot to get with a woman, and then women are wanting to have that companion. Some women are wanting that companion. So you're putting up with something that you probably already know is not good for you.
Yeah.
So how and when do you say, nah, I done gave you a safe place?
No.
We done had this conversation. You've been able to vent. It's time for you to get off the pot. I just want to know.
Well, from the beginning, you don't go to a relationship like that.
Because
my last relationship, as I was saying,
it's something that had happened since he's been in the relationship.
Yeah, absolutely. Because things come about.
Yes. I
things
feel you
happen that trigger some old things, and you're already in the relationship. You're already in the marriage. What do? Oh, well, he getting vulnerable. Let me leave.
Yeah, I feel
that's what
you
society is telling us today.
Okay,
and that's wrong.
But if
that's happening both ways, though. The men are doing that also because they trigger. You have a trigger in your life, okay? Something that happened in your past, or whatever. And we don't want to deal with that neither.
Because they're not equipped to deal with it.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, then you need to go to counseling and that person.
Well, I mean, all of us do. Yeah,
right. That's what I'm saying. Because if the relationship is important to you, then you're going to have to seek some help to work through it. Right. And that's why y'all can go to Arabella. What's the name? Come on now.
Arabella Counseling.
There you
That's
go.
right.
She's ready there for you.
Sign me up.
Okay.
Take my crazy ass.
It's funny that you had said it goes both ways.
Yeah.
I was going to say, Lanita actually commented and said it goes both ways. How long does a man have to wait to give a safe space for a woman? But I think that's like what a relationship is. Like, you're not their counselor, you're not their therapist, but like you should be able to be there for that person.
Right.
You may not know the right thing to say. You may not know how to fix the problem.
Right.
But like at least be there as like, listening ears, like to like let that person be vulnerable.
And we got to start right there, man. That's another one of our issues. Want to fix everything, and don't have the equipment to fix it, but we want to fix it anyway.
Come on now,
and then women don't want to feel like they don't want to feel controlled or like they're being told what to do. So I think that's where men and women kind of butt heads in that.
That's
way.
a real good statement there, because it becomes a controlled thing where the man is like, okay, here, just do this here, and that's to move on.
Right.
So
let me say this right quick.
This goes back to my cut the crap.
Okay.
If you say you love someone, be there for them and love them.
Okay, but being there for them and loving them also is giving them that safe
space. That's what I'm talking about.
I know that. And I love that.
What I'm talking about.
I think in both ways. Let me just say, I think it goes both ways for men and women. There's a huge difference between being a victim and venting.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Right,
you know what I mean?
Huge difference. Say that
Big
again.
Between there's a difference between venting and playing the victim. So people are like, to create that safe space, you obviously have to trust that person with your emotions,
your heart.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I need to come to you, be like, yo, I just need to vent. I don't need you to say nothing. Just let me get this out of my system, right? Okay. Playing the victim, I'm blaming you, I'm blaming everybody else, and now I'm causing chaos in a relationship. That's not going to work. So men who constantly play the victim roles are the ones who are the problems. They're the real problem. They're like, I'm blaming you, I'm blaming mom, I'm blaming when are you going to take accountability for yourself?
Stop blaming Eve out there for going out there.
Right. And now you start blaming a woman for your own personal problems. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm like, you're not a man. Okay, if you can't take ownership for your own personal problems, then are you blaming a woman? Okay, venting is one thing. Hey, I had a rough day. I need to get this out of my system. Let me lay on your chest. Let me just cry a little bit. I'm fine.
That's fine.
You don't need to do nothing else. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not going to sit there and complain to you over and over and over and over and over.
What kind of man does that?
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry.
That's a too short moment. Huh?
Okay. Well, I tell you, Nita is hot in the comments over here. Let's go ahead. She's enjoying this here, and she got some good points.
She said communication. Y'all need to talk. People will tell you who they are. We choose to be complacent in it, even when we know that it's not going anywhere.
Ooh, say that one more time.
Communication. People will tell you who they are. We choose to be complacent in it, even when we know that it's not going anywhere.
That's true.
Oh, come on.
That's true. Like from the first real conversation, in-depth conversation, that time when you're on the phone for 3 hours or you're out somewhere talking for hours. They tell you everything that you need to know.
Oh my God.
Like if you can get past the physical, get past, I want a man, I need a man. You can actually hear, or a woman, you can actually hear what they're telling you. And they tell you exactly who they are.
And you know what? Is it okay? It's been so long.
But the thing is, you want to tell them everything about who you are, so you hadn't heard the damn thing he said about who he is.
Necessarily. Not necessarily. It's just like, it's kind of like subconsciously you're attracted to that toxicity. Because that's what's in you. So you are surpass what he's saying. Like, oh no, I can fix him. I can deal with it. You know what I'm saying? That's when you respond that way. But when you're together, you're going to listen and you're going to hear that and say, you know what? Nah, I see it already. I see the red flags.
That's it. And it's really about you. Going back to the beginning of the conversation, you got to work on you. If there is no work on you, then it's just like a vicious cycle. You're constantly saying it's someone else. You're constantly unwilling to dig into your emotions. So because you're protecting that pain space. So it's everybody else.
And here's the big thing is get your beeper ready. I'm trying to.
You got your finger on the trigger. It's coming.
It's really hard to smell shit when you're in it.
Right.
Too late.
But when you're in it, you can't smell it, right? But as soon as you step out of it, you can identify it, right? So if you're having a conversation with somebody with some shit that you can relate to, you don't see it, you don't smell it because you're in it. Y'all doing the same thing. That whole relatability, you are what you attract. That's what you are, right? But as soon as you step out of it, you can see all the red flags. You can see all the bad things. You know what I mean?
And to go back and piggyback on that and piggyback what you were saying, often people just want to be heard. They never want to understand anything outside of themselves. And so I think about senior citizens. And they start talking about their aches and their pains to one person. Then that person starts, well, girl, my back, that's eliminated everything that the first person was talking about. And that's what we do in relationships, I believe, is that we often want to be understood versus want to understand. And it should be vice versa. If you want to have a healthy relationship, you should first start trying to understand outside of yourself. And then in other words, listen.
Okay, but I gotta go there.
And then come back and say what you gotta
go
say.
there. I may be half listening, but I gotta say this here.
At least she was honest.
The biggest problem with that, it goes back again, that you gotta do some stuff with yourself. You can't even start to listen. You can't even start to help. You're no good for a relationship. You're no good really for yours until you're broken. And that brokenness has
see what you just did right there. See what you just did
what
right
I did right there.
Okay, I was just trying to help somebody learn how to start listening and understanding. And you just took all of that away from them right there. You just proven just exactly what I said. You didn't listen to what I was saying.
I did hear
No, you didn't.
dog.
No, you didn't.
Okay.
You didn't hear it.
Okay,
You didn't hear it.
I'm the host of this show.
Yes, you are.
Okay, and I'm gonna
Yes,
say
ma'am.
this again. My co-host's been on it like fire today. But I am saying this. It starts with you. And in order for the healing to happen, in order for a change to happen, in order for you to be able to see that what you said, the shit is around you.
You got to get out of it.
You got to get out of it.
Yeah.
And you got to have something outside of you feeding you.
Mm.
And if you're only listening to your stuff, trust me, all you smelling is your shit.
Yeah.
So I'm just going on. Hello. And the host said that.
Y'all are cursing today.
Yeah. And it's going to be different. I imagine if you've been in a relationship a long time versus just starting a relationship.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
And so if you just starting a relationship, it's better to start trying to hear persons outside of yourself
Correct.
first.
Mhm.
You know, like when you've been in a toxic relationship like my wife and I have.
Ooh, yeah.
Speaking of toxic, speaking of toxic, I just gotta plug
that's
in.
another show
We
later
got
on.
another show called Tasteful and Toxic, launching on July
12.
Wednesday, 12th. Yes,
Yeah.
thank you. At 8 a.m. Tasteful and Toxic with
Yeah.
Brother Carter and Val.
Okay.
And
You
we
can tune
talk
into
about
that one.
relationships. Y'all can tune in.
Ooh, Lord Jesus, I love you so much.
So again, I'm gonna go back to this one thing,
Mhm.
you know, and I hope someone can be helped with that by, you know, start trying to hear outside of yourself,
Right.
in a relationship, because like you said, Christina, if you want to date with a man, he's gonna tell you that first 30 minutes to an hour, gonna tell you everything about himself, but if you won't hear it, if you want to tell him everything about you, you know,
Right.
at the same
Oh.
time.
Now that's facts there. That's
Yeah.
facts
Right.
there.
Look,
You
I
know.
say
Yeah.
one of the fastest ways to learn a person, you get through the cordial stuff, you know, hey, how you doing, kids, family, whatever. Get through that. Have the most uncomfortable conversation as soon as possible,
Mm.
because you see how they respond.
That's real
Yeah.
good.
How
No,
many
think
baby
about it.
mamas you have?
Yeah,
Okay,
no,
let's
no,
start out right
yeah.
I
there.
promise you, the faster you have the most uncomfortable conversation, you see the other side of the person real quick,
Right.
right? Because we can talk about all the
That's
surface
good.
stuff,
Yeah.
but let's go right into the uncomfortable stuff. Depending on how you respond to it, it's gonna let me know how you act in the other situation when you're mad about something else.
Right.
Ooh,
You know?
real good. Yeah. Did
Right.
y'all,
Right.
boy,
Yeah.
this
So y'all
show.
getting that for free here on
Yeah, that's
Let me
free.
tell y'all something. We need to have a part 2 of single life. Expect the unexpected. This has been a good conversation. Y'all know-
Maybe we can do a Tasteful and Toxic.
Oh,
Just,
we're gonna
you
have to
know.
bring them back so they can get on Tasteful and Toxic. Y'all want to do that?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
I'm down.
Oh, okay then. Hey, we might have to. They gonna be on this good thing.
do
Y'all
have
want to
a
be
question real
more
quick.
tasteful or toxic?
Combination of both.
Combination of both. I'm always trying to say I want to be tasteful, but something is always said that take me over to the toxic.
Yeah.
So you know what is
I
it?
think Aaron have something.
And what?
Well, I was just curious how y'all wanted to navigate this because, like, I noticed, like, you know, today's topic, like the single life, you know, expect the unexpected. And we've had a lot of whirlwinds this show.
Yeah.
But like, I noticed the conversation, like, we're talking about like singleness transitioning into relationships.
Mhm.
What would you say to someone who's actively choosing to be single? Not because, oh, men are toxic or women are toxic, or it's just like, what if they're just like, hey, I'm single, I'm content with that, but I have all these guys chasing me. Like, would you say the way you carry yourself would matter in that regard? Or
I
what would you
I
say to
don't think
that?
it's anything.
That's a really good question.
That's a very good
too, 'cause
question,
That's
and-
actually a question I wanted to oppose at the beginning of the show.
Mhm.
So you gonna answer it?
No, I can't answer it. I was just
Okay.
I hadn't been
Right.
single since I was 12. so-
Okay.
Well, I got a true story.
Go
Honestly,
ahead. Go ahead.
I was coaching somebody for almost 2 years.
Mhm.
Right, beautiful woman. You know, very successful. Had
Mm-hmm.
herself together. A couple of bad relationships. And by the time we got done coaching, and I got into more of a spiritual side of coaching. You know, trying to understand what's your purpose here in life, what you're supposed to be doing. And I firmly believe that everybody has a purpose here in life.
Yeah,
You're supposed
true.
to be doing something.
Mhm.
And I came to the conclusion that not everybody's supposed to be in a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Like maybe your place here on earth is to fully learn yourself and serve other people.
Yeah.
Mm.
And that's what you're supposed to be doing. That's it. You know,
Yeah.
for some reason you can't relate to anybody, which is why you can't be in a relationship. So you're supposed to serve other people. So we set up a whole system where she just served people. She put some organizations together, and that was her thing, though. And she was happy with it. And now she's happy with it now. So maybe she's not supposed to be in a relationship. We don't know that.
I think my thought on that, I agree with what you're saying, but my thought on that is that wherever you are in life, be okay with it.
Right.
Yeah.
And if you're choosing not to be in a relationship, that's your choice.
Right.
Mhm.
You shouldn't allow someone else to make you feel bad about being at that place. At the same time, don't go and jump into a relationship to make everybody else comfortable.
Facts.
Yeah.
Right.
There you go.
Yeah.
Don't-
Or even to make yourself comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't
Mhm.
force feed a situation when you don't have to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, you see that this is a problemed relationship and you continue to try to make it work.
Get out of it.
You are making more problems for oneself
Mhm.
than anything. You're creating a whole situation where it's going to be toxic
Yeah.
from that
Yeah.
point on forward. And it getting to a point right now where people are dying, people are being killed in relationships that
That are unhealthy.
unhealthy
Yeah.
relationships.
And people become their situations.
Yeah,
Think about it. You know,
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
you
Well, yeah. I'm sorry. We got to cut it. We got to cut it. Yes.
Mm.
We got to go to a few of these comments out here. Everybody has really enjoyed this show. It is 9:47.
wow.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
47.
9:47. That's why I was
Okay, we
trying
got
to
to
tell
go to our Q&A section.
yeah, well, I think we got more comments than
Yeah, more
Q&A.
comments.
But we're going to take some of the comments. I do want to go ahead and give some of the commentary that we've got.
I wish I can give shout outs to all the names that I'm seeing up there.
Oh, I tell you, we got a lot of them, so we can't. There's no
I can't
way.
start Terry.
Yeah,
Steven, I can't start calling y'all
we
names
can't even
out,
keep doing
'cause
it.
it's a whole slew of
Yes,
names up there.
so if you-
Roy.
So if you can, Abigail, we're going to turn this piece over you, and then I'm going to come back and allow the guests to share their experience on the show and leave their final thoughts.
So another one from Lanita. She said, "You let him stroke you on how beautiful you are, how amazing you are, and he hadn't even said it about himself." She's throwing shade.
She's throwing shade out here.
DC on YouTube said, "Good conversation, helping out the young people."
Mhm.
We got a lot of people just agreeing with us. They love what we have to say. Darnell Harper said today's show is really amazing.
Mhm.
Neville Washington said, "I agree with you." We did get one comment earlier from Suplex on YouTube. Said, "Why do I feel alone?"
Oh, wow.
You.
Well,
Mm.
I
Do
don't-
you feel alone in a crowded room?
I think
Then maybe you need to see what's the
Arabella Counseling.
Arabella Counseling.
Well,
That's here we
right.
go.
I think, and I don't want to just brush over that because to me, when I hear that, I hear a person in a place.
Right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And so I'm going to say to you that sometimes it's okay to be alone, but you need to examine from within. And I have no license. I'm not a
Right.
therapist. I'm just telling you from my own personal perspective. Sometimes you just probably need to just get with someone and kind of talk and figure out why that
Feeling that way.
feeling
And I
that
feel
way.
like a lot of negative connotation is put with being alone.
Yes,
But like
and it's
it's
nothing
okay
wrong.
to be comfortable being alone.
Yes.
Right.
You should feel peace in being with yourself.
Mhm.
Obviously, relationships, you need to have relationships, you need to have friendships and stuff like that. But I feel like a lot of people aren't like super comfortable within themselves.
But again, Suplex, I like that name, Suplex.
But if you're in a place where you're depressed and alone, that's a whole nother issue. Now, if you're comfortable being alone and at peace with being alone, there's nothing wrong with that.
Well, I'm gonna come back to that because if that's the case, then why did God's
When we're talking about this particular person, and so,
but I was kind of going back on your thing. You said if you're comfortable being alone, if I go back to in the beginning, as God was creating, He didn't want
man
to be alone,
Right.
so He created someone. So my thought on that, I don't think that
he didn't say woman, he said man to be alone.
but man was just you know what, Brother Carter.
You brought the Bible up. I didn't bring it up.
But I'm going to say this here. I do think that when it's good to have time for yourself, to reflect by yourself, spend time, but it's unhealthy when that's all you're doing. So it's not good for anyone to be alone all the time.
Let me just say this right
Jump
quick.
on that,
I think, well, not even think, it's evidence. when a person say I feel alone,
Mhm.
okay, that means they're not feeling themselves.
Right.
Okay. And that
Right.
means they've spread themselves out so thin that they
Yes.
can't feel themselves anymore.
Right.
So she feels alone because I don't know if he or she.
Yeah.
Maybe she spread herself too thin, too many people, giving herself too many places, putting energy in things that he or she shouldn't be doing.
Mhm.
So you got to give all that stuff back to yourself.
Yes.
And so you won't feel
Alone.
alone. Feel yourself. Spend more time with yourself, doing things that actually make you feel good, so you can feel yourself again, and then you won't feel alone.
Wow. Very good. Suplex, I hope that you enjoyed this conversation, and please check back in with us. It's always good. And I'm going to turn it over to our wonderful, wonderful guest that knocked it out the park today. Y'all tell me, we're going to start with this lady right here. They got that high five going on. Oh, God. Christina, if you could tell the people, I know you want to leave them with something, but tell them what your experience has been on the show and what you want to take away.
I've had a great experience on the show, as I always do. And I'm just grateful for conversations like this, because you get so many different perspectives, you get the comments and everything like that. And these are conversations that we need to, get more accustomed to having with like-minded people that's different, people that's in relationships, people that's single, and just in different places with relationships, because you get to learn so much, and I don't think you ever stop learning about relationships, whether you're single or out of them. But I know you talked about something, the domestic violence and how people are getting killed. And one thing that I would like to say to leave with is, if you're in that place, it's okay to be single.
Yes.
You can do it. You can find joy in being single. You can find your happy place in being single. I've been fully 1000% in every aspect single for like 2.5, almost 3 years in January. And I found out so much about myself. Like, it's an amazing place to be, because I never wanted to be single.
Right.
I always feared it and what people would say about me. Well, why that, but I found my happy place. I found my true joy, and it's there. It's within you.
Right.
And so if you're in a position like that and you're afraid of being single, I mean, it's the best experience you can ever have, and it's a safe place. It's a place that's created by you. So if you're in that type of situation, or just afraid of being single, or you're in something toxic, be single. It's okay. Gotta meet you in your singleness.
Okay. If they wanted to connect with you to get their, can they get their beat for the guards? How can they find you?
You can find me on Instagram at OnCue Makeup. That's OnCueMakeup.
All righty then, y'all check her out. We're gonna make sure that at the bottom of this here we have her information so you can reach out to her. And I'm gonna turn it over to. I love it. You have been on it like there is. Yeah, you coming back with this tasteful and toxic. All righty, Rickey, and to you, Rickey.
As always, I appreciate the energy. I appreciate the room. I appreciate this space. Again, we have real conversations. We try to bleep out some things, but at the same time, it's real. We don't try to sugarcoat anything.
Right.
And also, certain things are scripted, but at the same time, we let the spirit go and we just flow with it, which is necessary. Having things so scripted, it kind of takes away from the authenticity of this.
And that's why I refuse to have a scripted show.
Yeah.
It is going to be what it's going to be.
I appreciate them doing all this with the paperwork. We ain't looked at this.
I know they get so. We have a conversation about this every week.
Right.
Now we put all them questions and y'all ain't put one. But my team know me. They know that I'm going to allow. I appreciate this, but I'm going to allow the spirit to just flow.
Yeah, that shows that in the event the spirit is not flowing, then we have something to go to,
which makes it great.
It still makes it great.
Yes,
Brother Carter say,
So tell the people how they can find you. There,
I'm literally I have one of the easiest names in the world, Rickey Getwood Jr. rpgm.us. You can find me on social media, at TikTok, on Instagram, Facebook. I'm literally anywhere. I'm the easiest person in the world to find.
All righty then, Brother Carter.
So ladies, if you want to get your makeup done, you have Christina. Ladies and brothers, I guess brothers get the makeup done too, I guess. So I ain't gonna discount it. Let me take that out of the equation. We're living in a new world today. So if you want your face made up and you want to look as beautiful as Christina look, you can give her a shout out. If you want to work on your physical and mentals, here we have Rickey here on the show that you can contact him if you want to work on those things. And so this is my final remark for the show. I'm going to leave you guys with this. Single people. It's hard not to feel alone when you are alone, but you can be okay being alone. So, having said that, I want young women to hear this. I don't want you to force feed yourself to be with someone that does not deserve you.
Come on now.
You have to understand that you are the lottery. A woman is a lottery. And someone to have you giving up a lottery to this man. So be careful who you give yourself unto. And most importantly, make sure you take care of your own mental state of being. All right, that's it.
All righty.
Mic drop.
All righty. And for me, thank you guys. This has been a fantastic show. Wow. I couldn't have asked for a better show. I want to give a big shout out to my cousin, Rickey's mother, Pam.
Hey, mama.
She has been on here loving this show. I love you, cousin. You always do what you do. You come through. And you absolutely are always there for your cousin.
That's
I love
your
you.
son preaching too.
Yeah. I want to say to the followers, to the listeners, this has been, I hope that you guys have taken something away from here. It's been life-changing for all of us. I've learned something, but I want to leave you with this. Again, as I said all through this show, it starts with you. You have to be okay with you. And yes, don't be afraid of getting broken or being broken. As long as you're staying strong and being hard, nothing can get in. So really be okay. Be okay with really looking on the inside of you, spending some time and getting the help you need. And Abigail, you wanted to say something?
Yes, I just want to give y'all a final reminder to check out Arabella Counseling. We talked a lot about self-healing here today. So please, please, please check them out if you are needing some help, relationship help, or just being comfortable in your own singleness. We also have some new shows launching on the LV with Val radio. You can check us out on LV.
Talk about the radio, girl.
Yeah.
That's right. You can check us out on the LV with Val app. Or on lvwithval.com. And we got 2 shows launching this week. We have one on Tuesday at 6 p.m. with Stephanie called Mental Wealth with Steph. And then we also have Tasteful and Toxic launching on Wednesday morning. You can hear it live on the radio station, you guys.
We still had one on Sunday.
Oh, yes.
Yes, we also have Talks with Tiffany with Tiffany, obviously, on Sunday at 6. Either 6 or 6:30.
It's 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock.
Yes,
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock.
6 p.m.
All righty then. Well, we love you and we are out. Hey,
thank you. All you brothers out there. Don James, my homeboy. All right, man. Thank you, brother.